You can literally get a listing into the pipeline in a day. You can get a listing within 1 to 2 weeks with what we're doing here. My personal favorite, everything being equal, call, text, email, door knock. I hate mailing. I feel like once it's in the mail, it's lost. No, it's not lost, but it's going to take 3 days to get to them. I don't know if they got it. Now, mail is good, right? Mail is definitely good, but I would rather door knock, everything else being equal. Then I can get rejected to my face, and I much prefer rejection to my face. No, that's not true at all. We know, right? When we get into the expired pipeline builder and we look at live and recorded calls, and I got to just take this and put it under success stories from Rosanna, right? This is such a great post, because in this post, I took some comments from her in the mastermind group and I embedded them and weaved them into a post here. And if I just called or texted, I wouldn't have had that conversation. Face to face made all the difference. And I totally agree with that. And I know this from women, from men, from younger people, from older people, all walks of life, all shapes, all colors, all whatever, doesn't matter. Everyone I know, everyone that I've talked to that has done it, absolutely loves it. They absolutely love it. Why? It's the look on their face when they see this presentation, right? They try to get their home sold. They couldn't get it sold. And so when they see this and they see that you're a normal, nice, good person, 2 and 2 equals 4 all day long. And in fact, in this case, 2 plus 2 equals 6, because this right here is really 2, but it's really 4. So you're getting much more than just walking in with, hey, I saw your home expired. No, you're walking in with, I hate to have violent analogies, but it's like bringing a cannon to a knife fight. You know what I mean? Or I'm sure there's a nicer analogy that I could use to convey the same meaning, but you get my point, right? When I come in, when I approach somebody, I want it to be the most lopsided, unfair, just overpowering meeting that I can have. Now, do I want to call them and text them and email them? Yeah, it's free. I can do it from my desk. I'm not going to spam. I'm not going to do the do not call. I'm not going to get myself into trouble. That's why I always stress, right? We got 5 ways of reaching out to people. 5. Phone call, text, email, door knock, and mail. You should be able to do at least 3. I should be able to at least email, text, email, door knock, and mail. All right. If I have to, if I can't call them, if I can't text them, get over there. In fact, I was talking to somebody, he told me, he goes, you know what? He goes, I love to go after the do not calls because I door knock them. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I never heard somebody say that before. In fact, I got to remember to mention that more often, because I was just talking to him last week. And he goes, when I see somebody on the do not call, that's a good prospect, I zero in on that, because I know nobody's calling them and nobody's probably door knocking them. So what do? I go door knock them. And he goes, it works phenomenal, because why? They have a problem. I got a solution. And there is a broken bridge between the agent and them. The broken bridge meaning either there's no phone number. In fact, he also said the no phone number, right? When they don't have a phone number, but either there's no phone number, they're on the do not call. All right. So and a lot of times the emails can end up in spam. It's hard to tell. Some different CRMs are better than others, but where there is a problem with the homeowner, we've got the solution. Where there's a problem connecting, man, just a little bit of elbow grease, right? A little bit of zigging instead of zagging like everybody else is doing. Instead of just doing what everybody else is doing, we do something just a little bit different. Like Scott Murray said, and I think this is one of the best quotes ever, it may not be the most efficient use of your time, but it is one of the most effective uses. And again, people from Michigan, people from Louisiana, Alabama, California, Florida, Iowa, All right. I'm sure I know there's other states as well. I don't even know where Rosanna's from. And she did it with great success, and others have too. And again, this is door knocking with expireds. This is not circle prospecting where we're knocking on 100 doors. At most, you're talking 3 to 4 doors in a day, at most. And you may only get through 1 or 2 because you may end up talking to somebody. They very likely, if I had to give a percentage I've seen from people, 20% get invited in for a tour of the property. So rough, but from people I'm talking to that are door knocking, 20% of the time, they're actually knocking on a door that results in a tour of the property and getting that listing into the pipeline 20% of the time. Where else, how else are you going to do this that fast? Literally, right? So we're in My Plus Leads, we're identifying these people, right? So if I go here to add 5 to 10 new expireds a day to my contacts, right? Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Somebody just asked to get in there. At this point, you'd think everybody's in there, but I guess not. Mita, let me just approve you. San Francisco. Where in San Francisco are you from? I started my real estate career, colo banker in Van Ness Avenue, California, Sacramento. Van Ness and Sacramento, but regardless, TRI colo banker back in the day. But what are we going to do? We're going to use a service like My Plus Leads, RedX, Vulcan 7. You could even use your MLS. Find the expireds. And what I would do, in addition to all the other things that we're talking about, I would try to find 2 to 3 times a week, find 2 to 3 expireds that are in a certain kind of general area that's convenient. So I'm not driving all over the place, wasting gas money. And I would prepare the items for door knocking, which we'll take a look at. And I would just go door knock, in 1 hour. All right. And hey, if I get invited into the house to do a tour, I don't mind blowing another hour, make it 2 hours. I don't mind, because I'm talking to a homeowner. If they invite me into the house, I'm most likely going to be putting that property in the pipeline, right? People don't invite you into their house and do a tour. And the nice thing I think about this is, and always keep safety top of mind, but these are people, they've already worked with an agent. Can people go crazy at any point in life? Of course they can. Again, this is not just a random circle prospecting thing, right? We're not just knocking on random doors because they happen to be around a listing. These are people, they're in the system. They literally tried to sell their house. They probably went through open houses. They probably had an agent, right? Nothing bad happened. So that's where I think Rosanna, right, and other women that I know do this, right? And men too, right? Men, safety doesn't discriminate. That's why people feel a little bit more comfortable door knocking with expireds, whereas maybe they wouldn't just in a normal circle prospecting environment, which I totally get that. I always tell people, I got a client not too far from me here. She's in her 60s, great health, super healthy woman. She goes door knocking on her own. And I was like, is that the safest thing to do? We're in a safe area, but nonetheless, you just never know. And so I always tell people, again, even the guys, it's just easier to have somebody with you for so many reasons. To have someone to rant with if something goes good or bad, either way, it's nice to have someone to be able to talk to while you're walking. Just keeps you company is nice. Maybe they can carry some of the stuff that you want to bring with you, so that when you go to the door, you're not carrying several different things. So if you can, I always like to bring somebody just because it's nice to have somebody with me. But it's also good for safety as well to have somebody with you. Okie doke. Have I belabored that point enough? Are we good on that point? I just say it because I know some of you are thinking, I need to get a listing. I want to get something in the pipeline as quickly as possible. And there's nothing quicker. All right. There's absolutely nothing quicker. Make sure if you haven't that you do. And if you have, awesome, but just highly recommend. All right. Order these booklets. We just got a 5-star Google review from a client who's been a client for 3 or 4 years. And she goes, oh my gosh, I spent so much money on these expensive lead gen companies. And she literally said, Listings to Leads is the only company I've actually closed leads from, and I've canceled all the other ones. And so I know so much money is being wasted on so many things. So much money. All right. One of the clients I was talking to a couple of days ago, she was going on, she says, oh my God, she goes, Scott, she goes, I have spent so much money on stuff that has done nothing for me. And I'm like, Kat, listen, this is what you do. This is literally what you do. Sandro Rosario, the booklet, the marketing plan is great. Yeah. Why is it great? Because it's 26 or 27 pages, right? Showing the homeowners, and this could be a seller lead in your database that you can do this with. This could be a FSBO, canceled, expired, where you're walking in with a 26, 27 page presentation, answering the 3 questions that they want to know. And again, that's why I love this for seller leads. A lot of the applications of this that we do with expireds, we do with expireds first because they are the most likely to list. The seller leads in our database, you know, what, 10% expireds, 70, 80% are going to relist. We do expireds first because it's just much lower hanging fruit. But a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, if I had a hot seller lead that I know they've been in the house for 12 years, right? They're empty nesters. They're looking at maybe selling their home at some point. I don't care if it's 2 years from now, I would still get this to them. Why? You can never get this to somebody too early. And in fact, I found a printer. They can do 100, they can print up 100 at a really good price. And I can't wait for someone to order 100 of these at a time and just start send them out to the database, right? Or maybe doing a pop buy. Take this with some you know, you eat little spring pop buys, right? And you do like some, you give them seeds, you give them flour, you give them something, right? A little chocolate or something. And you take this with you and you're like, listen, you're not thinking about selling right now, but at some point you're going to. And so I just want to make sure that you've got this. And if you ever need an updated version, if you ever lose this, when you actually get a little bit closer to selling, I can customize this for your home so that you can see what your home looks like, absolutely free. And in fact, you're going to see here, let me show you something. If I go all the way down, there's the bottom tab, the lab, and I click on it. Check this out. If I go to TikTok and let me show you a video. And I've shown this video a few times recently, and all of these videos, you can do these for free, can't you? You're not even, for those of you scared to be in a video, you're not in these videos. But check this out. This is the kind of video that I would be doing. I would print up the 100-point home marketing plan out of my Listings to Leads account. And I've used 130 plus deals a year, LO generous lead for us and sellers love the marketing. Oh, wow. Oh, Sarhant. Yeah, dude. Awesome. I love it. He just came to California. There's a big splash in California in some of the industry stuff here with him coming. Yeah, maybe we'll pick out some agents. I know we got a few Sarhant agents. I don't know if they were with us before they went there or they found us while they were, I'm not sure, but I know we got a few agents from there. But check this out right here. This is an amazing TikTok, Instagram, Facebook post, put it on YouTube Shorts, right? Showing off. And notice what I did here. So this is I took the video of my phone. I uploaded it to CapCut, now available for order. Yeah. I wanted a positioning, right? Positioning, Sarhant, right? Positioning. If you position yourself as valuable, as, what's the word I want to use? Exclusive, something that is not meant to be just thrown around, position your marketing as, oh my God, yeah, you know what? I want to order that. I want to get that from that agent. This looks amazing. And you can even put a website in here where they can go to get that, or put that in the comments. I did put right here, the 2026 100-point home marketing plan to get your home sold is now available for order, comment, or DM your address. Oh, shoot. Let me grab that again. Hold on a second. Let me bring that up again. I'll give you this link so y'all can take a look at this later. But it's all I did is I just printed up I printed it up, or you can order these from us. The complete, I think it was that one. Let me give you this link. Let me see. Give me 1 second. There we go. Share an email. All right. Why am I not seeing the shoot. Copy link. Sometimes I wonder. Yeah, you know what, Mita? 1 second. Boom. There you go.
Put it in the chat.
All right. So take a look at that link right there. All I did was, and this is one I printed. This one right here. I printed it from my printer here. I got a spiral binder. You got to use a spiral binder because if I were to try to shoot this video with this, it wouldn't work because it's going to try to close all the time. So if you had a thermal binder, see how that works? It's just not a good experience. So you're going to want to definitely use a spiral binder. Worst case, FedEx, Kinko's, Staples, whatever. For those of you that are intimidated by this, I am sure someone under 15 years of age, maybe a nephew, a niece, an assistant's nephew, assistant's kid, whatever, just show them this video and say, hey, I want to record a video like this. Can you help me? Any 14-year-old can do this. All right. Anyone under 20 can do this without even thinking. For all of us that are a little bit over 20 years of age, it's not hard. All right. CapCut's just an app on the phone. You upload your video. All right. You can do some really quick editing. And it's easy. And this could be a Facebook post. And then check this out. Once you know how to do this, there's so many applications. My pending listing, when I got a listing that's pending, I do the same thing because I want to show people the photo of the home is great. The photo of the sellers is great. All that stuff is great, but showing this as well, right? Getting more content for every pending listing I've got, every sold listing I've got, having more content to share. Now people that are thinking about selling, right? I do a post from listings to leads of the property. They click through, they go to the property website, phenomenal. I do an ad, show the listing, click to the property website, phenomenal. But add this kind of a video to your arsenal as well. And it's essentially the same kind of video that we just saw before. And I'll do it again when it's sold. And I'll use different captions, right? I can do my 100-point marketing plan, got 3,000 views for this home online versus the 700 that Zillow got. And we had 23 showings. So I can do a little bit of humble brag, but it's backed up by them seeing this. And then I'm also going to do it for my expired. Why? Any expired homeowner sees it is going to love it, but also regular homeowners. This, even though I'm talking now, it's a little bit different messaging, which is perfect. I can't do the same messaging all the time. And so now what I'm doing is talking about expireds, but what homeowner wants to be expired? None of them. And so when a homeowner who's thinking about selling, they know the market may not be the best out there. They know Denise Morse has a plan, a 100+ point home marketing plan to help expired homeowners. Why don't we just go with Denise so we don't even become expired in the first place, right? The agent that we saw last week that came over to interview to sell our property, she didn't have anything like this. She walked in with something about how great she is and with a glam shot of her and whatever. She's a top producer, but she didn't walk in telling us how she's going to get her home marketed. So when we can not just talk about it, but show it like this in so many different great ways. You saw 3 right here, and there's really so many more you can do. All right. In fact, you know what? Let me show you something because I know if you're interested, I believe in our open house comments from agents, I think I've got a link. Give me 1 second. I think I have a link to a video somewhere. I may have to find it. If I can't find it here, live and recorded, open houses. Yeah, I wonder where I put that link. Instagram stories and reels. No, it's not this one. I wonder where I put that. Yeah, I'll have to find it because I know I got a video somewhere, I believe, showing how to use CapCut. And it's so easy. If you don't know how to use CapCut, when you see someone doing it, or just if you're open to doing this, just go to YouTube and search CapCut for beginners. All you need to know is how to split. In fact, let me see if I can. Anybody want to know how to do this? Do you want me to see if I can find a video for you? There's literally like 3 things you need to be able to do in CapCut. How to split a video, i.e. how to get rid of the stuff you don't want to show, and how to add captions. That's it. CapCut for dummies. I had a friend that worked at the dummy, whatever they, remember that in the 90s, right? Everything Adobe for dummies, all that kind of stuff.
It's still a thing.
Pardon me?
It's still a real thing to this day.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Let's see. This is all right. Here's an 11-minute video. Here, I'll drop this in. I'll take a look at this a little bit later, but it's 11 minutes. That we don't want anything longer. Again, knowing how to split, use a split function, and how to use the captions. That's all you need. That's all I did in those videos. Right? It was so easy. And check this out, right? Back in the school classroom here, if I go classroom, expired, right here on Instagram. So same idea, right? Same idea. Showing off my marketing plan for expired. Do the same thing for the pending. Do the same thing for the just sold. Just like what we saw on TikTok. Usually what I do is I will upload it to TikTok first, and then I upload it to Instagram. From the Instagram, it goes to YouTube, Facebook, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. And that way I got 3 platforms with the same video, right? Because I want to get the most out of my videos. So the top people, they don't do one video for TikTok, a different video for Instagram, a different video for YouTube. They just take the same video and they upload it to all 3 platforms. I was trying to see, I thought I had another video here similar to what we just saw. Yeah, maybe not. All right. But you saw what we did there for, check this out. So Instagram, sorry, get the 100-point home marketing plan now. This video is in listings to leads, but any of you could record this video.
So homeowners.
It's a little salesy. We did this 3 or 4 years ago just to try a few of these kind of videos. And I was just, oh my God, you know what? No, they just reek of like stock photo, stock video type stuff. But you could do a video like this, right? Right here, just get in your car, put your sunglasses on so you look amazing, right? Make sure your hair looks good, and then just talk. And that's the beautiful thing about when you do a video, you upload it to CapCut, all those ums and ahs, all of those where you went off tangent a little bit and you're like, what? Get back on track, right? You just record in one shot and then you upload it to CapCut. You just use a split function, as I mentioned earlier. You cut out all the garbage, right? What you don't need in there, and you upload and get a perfect little video. And right, then you can do something like this, but with you. Nobody wants to see some Ronco sales guy. It's like, if you remember the old Ronco from like the 80s and 90s, that's what he reminds me of. But check this out. Click for the free guide. And boom, that could have been the landing page for your 100-point home marketing plan. And then I got a poll. Get the 100-point marketing plan now. Yes, please, not right now. So there's so many phenomenal ways of free marketing, right? Free marketing. We like the ads. We like the posts, right? We're going to do all the stuff that we talk about every day, typically, right? Where we go into My Plus Leads or Mojo or Redx. We find the expired, we call them, we text them, we email them, we door knock them. But at the same time, why not do some really fun free things on social media to both attract regular sellers, but also to attract expireds? Okay. Any questions on any of that? Anyone feel like they would like to do it, but they feel like maybe it's a little bit overwhelming? Do you think it's a stupid idea? What do you think? It's a good idea, right?
Okay.
Ooh, I got the, look at that. I got all the fireworks going on behind me. That must be a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Awesome. If you listen, literally, let me show you what I did. So I'm going to click on listings. Now, if you order those magazines from us, right? So if you got an order in, or if you've gotten some, if you already got them, you're good to go. Just right. Get your significant other, get another agent, get your broker, get your partner, and just all you got to do is flip through it, have them videotape you. I did it myself and it was a little cumbersome, but I got through it. But it would have been easier to let somebody else just right. And just we'll look at my video for the angle if you need. And then I was just doing this. I'm not talking. If you could talk, I wasn't. All I did was I just tried to make sure I was turning the pages at a consistent pace, nice and easy, not too fast. I didn't want 2 seconds and then 6 seconds, right? So I just kind of nice and easy. And then boom, I'm done. And then I turned off the video. I trimmed the beginning and I trimmed the end before I uploaded to CapCut. And then I uploaded it to CapCut. There was one part in the video where I was fumbling to get the page flipped over. Again, I used the split feature to just cut that out a little bit. And then I added some captions, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? And you can do that. I would do that every single week. And then the beautiful thing is when you get a pending and a sold, you're much better at doing it and it'll be a lot quicker for you. And then you can have a little bit more fun. I got a pending listing. And so check this out. I always make sure in my account, and if you don't have this, now I know we're off expired. I got all the recordings. You can take a look at that. We can talk about it. I want to talk about I like talking about seller leads as well. So what I do is, and I'll show you how to do this. Listing presentation is the status. And it says, beautiful home, Placer and El Dorado counties, California. When I click on that subject line or what is normally the address, here's my Flipbook. And I like to have this for a sales area, my main sales area. And then I can print this or you can order it from us. And I love this one for all the seller leads and my pending and just sold marketing. If I have this for that actual home because I did the listing presentation, so I still got it from when I actually did it, I could use that one. But otherwise, I'll just use this one. And I could even swap out the home. So let's say, for example, check this out. Let's say I got a pending listing and I don't want to add a new listing. I'll just take this one right here and I'll show you how to create this in a minute, but I will upload the image of the pending or sold listing. All right. So that's my pending or sold listing. I'll move it to the front. I can leave that or I can delete it. It doesn't really matter because it's only the first photo that's going to show in the booklets. Hey, they scan the QR code, the single property website's going to come up. If you only got one photo, that's totally fine. All right. So I think it's saved, but let me just click save again. Now that Flipbook is going to have to regenerate. So it's going to take about 1.5 minutes for that to regenerate. But what it will give me is it will give me the Flipbook and the printable PDF that I can film the video with, right? That I can take to an open house at another listing that I've got, right? That I can send the Flipbook link to the seller leads in my database. And I can say, hey, I just got 123 Main Street sold into contract. I got 123 Main Street in Folsom into contract. And our 100-point home marketing plan got 500 views for this property versus the 435 it got on Zillow. If you're thinking about selling in the next 1 to 12 months, request the copy of this featuring your home, right? Something like that. Easy. So easy. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Let me show you how to add that so that you can all do this. And if you want to log into Listings to Leads and do this with me right now, go to Add Listing Manual. It's the same as when you've got a listing presentation, status, listing presentation. All right, listing presentation, because I want to go after the seller leads on my database, and I'm going to use, and I could even do a market report. Maybe I send out a market report email, right? Hey, 433 listings just sold in Folsom. Highest price home to sell was $438,000. Even in this market, homes are selling. If you're thinking about selling, get a copy of my 100 plus point home marketing plan. Feel free to request a copy featuring your home. Beautiful. Love it. So status, listing presentation, headline. No, we're not going to put a seller because there's no seller. We're just creating this for all of those seller leads in our database. So for the headline, I'm going to go and I'll drop this into the chat, the 100 point marketing plan to get Northern California homes sold with the strongest offers, something like that. I'll drop that into the chat. You're going to, of course, change the location. That goes in the headline. All right. Street. You're not going to put 123 Main Street. What you're going to put here is a beautiful home, excuse me, a beautiful home. And then whatever your main sales area, California, DFW, Atlanta Metro, Houston, the greater Houston area, right? Whatever, Baton Rouge. Separate listing address with commas. I'm going to uncheck that. If you forget, it's not the end of the world. Don't need to do anything else. Save and add photos. What I forget. State and zip. Zip code's not going to show anywhere. So you don't need to worry about that. All right. So let me back up. Street will be a beautiful home. City. Northern California. State, put your state, and then zip code. Again, zip code's not going to display, so don't stress on which zip code do I use. It's not going to show anywhere. Upload images. So here's what I do. In fact, let me show you. Let me bring up ChatGPT, and I will show you what I do. Because I don't want to use somebody's home for this kind of marketing. What if they see it? Then they're going to be like, dude, why are you using my home in your marketing? That's weird. So I'm going to show you an easy, fun. I think it's fun, but I'm weird. I'm going to bring this over. Boom, right there. And let me show you. So check this out. This is a actual listing of a client. So this was their listing. And we wanted to create one of these booklets for them. All right. So that's their listing. And here's the home that I use ChatGPT to create. Different. Now I'm going to show you the prompt. The prompt is definitely easy. But look at that. Different landscaping, different roof, different entryway, different garage, different driveway, right? Just different. The owner of this home would never even have an inkling that this other image was based off of their home. Does that make sense? They may, it's similar. But so do a lot of homes. A lot of these homes look similar. And so what I did is I just got my favorite photo I wanted to use. Could be a sold listing, could be somebody else. No one's going to know because we're just using it as a reference. And so I just uploaded that into ChatGPT and check out what I said. I'll drop that into the chat so you can, if you want to copy it. All I said is, can I get this home appropriate for Naples, Florida? So the area, because you wanted to know what your area is, with a different landscaping, change color of the roof to gray, make it metal roofing, because that was tile. Florida, the metal roofing is popular because of the hurricanes. Change the entryway and garage door color and styling, and it will give you something different enough. Sometimes I'll even mention the trees, but it did throw in another tree there, which is nice. And I'll show you a few other examples here. Yeah, here's another example, right? There's the original home. Similar prompt, same idea, except for Lake Norman, California, Lake Norman, North Carolina, excuse me. And there's the lake in the background there, which I didn't even notice the lake until just now. That's funny. So I'm bringing this up because I want to use a home in this presentation that I'm going to be sending to my seller leads. I want it to be a unique photo, but I want it to be something that really is two things: recognizable for the area, right? I don't want a stock image. Could I go to some random website and grab an image of a home that looks nothing like my area and is like super sterile? I could, but I'm not going to. And the second thing I want to do is I want it to be aspirational. So I don't want to use something in the $4 million range. That's too much. That's overkill, unless that's your market. I want something that mid upper range. Okay. I want a home that, whether it's a luxury homeowner or a mid-level or low level, they can look at that picture and go, you know what? This is the kind of person I want selling my home. Does that make sense? So get the image of your home and just upload it. Boom, upload. And I will grab, in fact, I'll just take that photo and I will upload it. And we're pretty much done as far as creating this. That's going to upload. We're going to click, right? Click, save and check listing. We're just going to wait a few minutes and it's going to be done. It's going to generate the Flipbook. Now, the one thing I'm going to do one more thing. And when you go through the Flipbook, you'll see the problem or the issue. And the issue is going to be the single property website link. And so I just check this out. If I go to edit domains, and if you don't remember this, you'll remember it when you're checking it out and you see the URL in the Flipbook. And let me show you what I mean. In the Flipbook here, right? You're going through it. You see where it says right here, your NorCalHome.worldsbestlisting.com. So it's got my sales area right in the URL. By default, it's saying a beautiful 39. Not the end of the world, but I notice it. So I just click on the edit and I just change it to something, right? Your NorCal home. And then select one of the domains. If it's been used, try another domain. If it's been used, try another domain. I use that too much, so I'll do this. Is. Boom. And now that way, the domain on that one page, instead of saying a beautiful 39.worldsbestlisting.com, which is, no one's going to pay attention probably, but I would just rather have my sales area in there. Right. And now it's just a much cleaner, attractive looking URL. All right. So now in about a minute and a half, when this is done, it's going to look just like this, like the one that we were playing around with earlier. A beautiful home, Placer, El Dorado County. Remember, we're messing around with that one. So here's the flip. Oh my God. All right, let's go back to the other one. I don't know why. Sometimes, oh, you know what? I changed something in that one. That's annoying. All right. So once this is ready, let's come back to this one. And so once it's ready, we just walk through a great email, a great text message, right? A pending listing, just like we do a video like we saw on TikTok and Instagram. We had that pending video showing off our marketing plan. That would make a great text message. That would make a great email. That would be great for a market update. That would be great to notify people that I got a new home sold. In fact, in the e-flyer that we do, right, in the listing e-flyer for database and listings to leads, we actually link to your 100-point home marketing plan, the default one, automatically. But it doesn't mean I can't take this. Look at that beautiful home, Northern California. Right, here's that link. Your NorCal home is, right? And that way when people click it, the property website also looks really nice. Your NorCal home is. Because I want people thinking that I am a NorCal specialist or I'm an El Dorado County specialist, whatever it is. And so I want that same kind of language in the URL, on the page, on the screen, on the cover, right? They scan the QR code. Come on. We literally just created this, right? Created this just now. I created this in front of you. And when I scan that QR code,
Wow.
what comes up?
It's cool.
Boom. So now what do I have to do? I just got to get this in front of people. All I have to do is get this in front of people. And I can put that link. Don't put the link to page 15. Make sure you put the link to the cover, right? Just put that link in the email. Don't stress. Now, if I'm going to send it via text, I'll use Bitly and I'll shorten it. But if it's in an email, boom, right there. So I'm going to go to my email, come up with, when I do my market update. Now, if you do a newsletter, maybe you got a newsletter that goes out every month. Add this to it. Add it to it. Just add a little space where appropriate and just say, click to view our 100 plus point home marketing plan to get your Northern California home sold. It could be a graphic, it could be text, but start using this to go after your seller lead. So every time, I would almost think, especially via email, every time I interact with a homeowner via email, in fact, I'll show you one more thing. Who here has seen your lead gen signature in listings to leads? Tell me if you even know about this. I see a lot of people using this. And it's a signature right here in your profile, lead gen signature. So this is something you can drop in Gmail. If any of you have ever emailed me, this is my Gmail signature, more or less. It's the signature in the e-flyers in your account. But you can take this, right? Copy for Gmail, copy for other emails like Follow Up Boss. You put it in Bold Trail. You can put it as a blog signature. So if you got a blog and you want a nice like signature block at the bottom of the post, this is great for a blog. Check this out. Send email. And wait, what happened? Hold on one second. Let me go to my email. Let me see what was sent. All right. Oh, here it goes. Now, it's just like a test email, but look what it looks like in Gmail. Right? It's got my client reviews, got this. But what I want to show you is, why don't we add our 100 point home marketing plan to our signature? Wouldn't that be smart? Wouldn't that be like any homeowner that gets an email from us? Wouldn't it be nice to have that in there? I think it would be. You can do it. If you got a signature, you can customize your own signature, but in listings to leads, right? Lead gen signature, I can go use custom URL and I can just drop that in there. And where it says call to action title, get or see my 100 plus point home marketing plan. Save. We have a couple of different versions of this template that you can select from. All right. I like the first and third the best. Oh, there's actually a few more down here even. All right. But the first and third are the ones I like best. Maybe even the first. I'm going to go with that one. And now every email from listings to leads, or I can take this, I can copy that and I can drop it into Gmail as my signature. So every time I send an email out of Gmail, out of Bold, out of Follow Up Boss, out of Brevity, right? Whatever, this is my signature. And boom, people click that link right in my signature, right up to my plan. Come on. Is that awesome? They can just see. I could have used the link to the landing page where they got to download it. In fact, let me show you that one. So because for all of your flipbooks and PDFs, so all of the presentations, there's a landing page, right? So this one that we just created on April 15th, that's today. Again, when I click on that address, there's a landing page. So I could actually, maybe I want to link to this. So they have to enter their information to download. But I'm like kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Maybe I try it one way and I change it later on. But where it says custom URL, just drop that link right there, hit save. And now when, then I'll update my email or update whatever program I got this in. Because now when they click, see my 100-point home marketing plan, they go to the landing page and then they got to fill in, and then I'll know who's downloading it, right? And when people fill this out, they'll actually be taken to the Flipbook. So they're not really going to download it, but they're going to view the Flipbook version of it. We don't want people downloading. That's a big PDF file, annoying. So they'll see the Flipbook, right? So a lot of free ways to make sure we are getting the best home marketing plan in the industry to as many people as possible. Our database via the emails that we're sending them with buried in the content, right? Which I liked, because if I'm talking about market stats and someone is interested in market stats, it would make perfect sense to then follow it up right away with, and if you're thinking about selling your home in the next 1 to 10 months, get a copy of my 100-point home marketing plan for Northern California homeowners. In addition, I would put it in my signature so that when I'm just emailing people at random, right? Hey, there's a event going on this weekend. I just want to let everybody know about it. And that way the 100-point home marketing plan is like, it's sitting there unobtrusive. So it's not like in your face. Like it'd be hard to put that message underneath something not really relevant. But if it's part of your signature, people would see the message about the ice cream social or whatever it is that you're talking about or whatever. And then they just see, oh, Denise has a 100+ point home marketing plan. Let me click. Damn. All right. I'm not thinking about selling, but I know my brother is. I should send this to him so he can take a look at it. But if you didn't have it in the email, if you didn't have it in the signature, if they didn't see it on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, how do they know about it? They wouldn't know. And so we want to get this out in front of people as often as possible. And I'll tell you, I had no idea I was going to go down this track today, so I hope I didn't annoy anybody that really wanted to talk about expireds. But I also want to make sure that we're just talking about seller conversion using these tools, right, as much as possible. Mita, hold on a second. Great question. Denise, I think, had her hand raised. Do you want to just type in, Denise, or you want to talk?
Up to talk. It's a little bit off topic, but
So
I don't even know if this is the right time to ask this question, but nevertheless, I'm going to go for it. So I need to make a pivot, because when I was setting up my back office and putting my listings in, I did the luxury for each listing. Okay. So I got 10 listings, and even though they're not luxury, they have the individual pictures. All right. So then when I got ready to shorten the links, I only had access for 3. And I'm like, did I just waste my time? Should I just pivot and put in the Premiere? Just focus on the Premiere, just how you have it set up in school. Focus on the Premiere, because I feel like I learned how to do it, but now I feel like it's not the right.
I love the language. So I love the vernacular. Luxury, Premiere. That's beautiful. You make me happy just using those terms. So that's great. When you say you've only got access,
I want to do it. I want to set the foundation properly from the beginning, and I feel like I might have messed up a little.
Yeah, I don't think you messed up a little bit. So tell me what you mean by you only have access to 3 short URLs or something, or what do you mean?
When I went into Bitly, it said that I could change 3, but I have 9. So I was like,
you can create 3?
Yeah.
Oh, send me an email later and just ask me to create them for you. And I'll just do it. Well, I'll do these ones that you've got right now for you so that I got unlimited that I can do. So I'll do them for you for this time. But yeah, going forward, what I would do is I would just leave those as is. You already got them, so just leave them. But going forward, I would stay with Premiere. And what Denise means by Premiere, for those of you that aren't familiar, is literally what we just created for listing presentation, where we can use it for all of our seller leads. It's the same idea, but for all of the expired leads. Because what Denise was just telling us is she was creating these specifically for each expired. Now that's awesome. That's awesome to do that. But it's also a lot of work. It's just more things that have got to get done. I definitely recommend doing this for the high-end luxury listings that might be in your area, because it will have, oh my God, why is it regenerating? So annoying. It'll have their home, it's their name, it's their address on the cover. But for what Denise mentioned as far as Premiere, that is literally the same thing we just created, a beautiful home, Northern California, listing presentation, but for expired. So expired is the status, a beautiful home placer in El Dorado counties. And man, I must have done, oh, you know what? I changed that signature, but whatever. You know what it looks like, right? It's essentially the home like I just walked through. I grab an image of a nice home in my area. I run it through ChatGPT. I change up a few things so it's unique. And then I upload it as the image to use in here. And for the street address, right? There's my headline like we just did, but it's expired. So it's a little bit different. Street, a beautiful home, just like we did for the listing presentation. City, same thing as what we did for the listing presentation. Is the only difference is instead of saying status listing presentation, that is now status expired. Because now I only need one short URL, one QR code, one cover letter that I'll just change the name on, right? Dear Denise, dear Frank and Denise, whatever. So everything is a lot easier if you treat everybody as Premier. And I recommend that for when you're starting out. It can be easier to do that. But yeah, so Denise, what I would do is, I would leave what you got, send me, and don't even send me the links. I can just log into tell me which listings you need the short URL for. But then going forward, just treat everybody as Premier until you start getting a listing every week or two. And then if you want to pay for, in fact, I wonder, have you tried, and I don't know, but have you tried Canva? Do you have an account with Canva?
I do. I
I
do have
wonder,
a account with Canva.
I don't know if you can or can't, but if I go to, am I not logged in? I should be logged in. Oh, so if I click here, for example, and if I go to Gen QR, right? I talk about that all the time. Short link is right here.
Okay.
So to do the QR code, right? And I talk about this all the time, right? You put in the link, you got the QR code. But what I never really talk about, and I really should, is right here is short link. And again, I guess I gotta redo the link, but there we go. And I can try this and see if that'll work for you.
Okay.
Because then,
Jen is the Jen. Okay, Jen, sure. All right.
yeah. So if you don't have it in Canva, what you'll do is you go to apps. So we're about halfway down, at least on mine, it says apps.
Okay.
Search Canva, GenQR. Select it from the list. It should be at the top. Just select Gen QR. And then it should be right there at the top again, Gen QR. And right there. Now, I don't need it on this letter, but what I can do is I can copy it. Let's see how, so there's QR code. There's the short URL, the short link. Oh, shoot. Let me try that again. So there's the, so there's the link, generate, and I'll say save changes. And what I'm wondering is, how do I copy it? I don't really see a way. I've just never done this in Canva before, so I'm not familiar with, maybe, I don't know if anybody else knows, but I can just type it. That's annoying. Add a short note for this link. I don't need a short note. Yeah. So it's updated. Oh, maybe when it's on the document, I'll just copy it, paste it, and there we go. Yeah. So try that. If it works, great. If not, just again, send me an email and I'll knock it out for you.
Okay.
It'll take me 5 minutes and it'll be done.
I'm so jealous. 5 minutes. Okay. So I do have one more question, please.
Yeah.
So I'm set up the email templates in Lofty. All right. So now I saw you do it out of listings to leads. Is it pretty much the same way? Or is there a video that I should be looking at using the Lofty as the
No,
template for texting and emails?
I don't really know Lofty too well. Although we do have we're working with a client with the done for you service. She's using Lofty. In fact, she's got to return my call because we got to set up the meeting with her to go through it. We got it all built out. But no, in the email. So in the email, so you got your subject line and you got your hello and your Lofty tag for first name. And then it's just copy and paste this right in there. Whatever the appropriate Flipbook is. So if it's Premier, it's the same link for everybody. If it's luxury, this link I'm highlighting will change, right? So if it's, let's just say it's Premier because that's what you're going to focus on going forward for a little while. So just drop in the Flipbook link, the long one right there is totally fine, right? It's the email, a long link is fine. The only two things you're going to change before you send it out to somebody is XX days on market, 88, 97, 106, whatever it is. You'll always see that's in Mojo, it's in RedX, it's in My Plus Lead. So it's always there. And I want to make sure that's there because I want them to understand that I know their issue specifically. Not only do I know that you're expired, but I know that your home was on the market for 107 days. The other thing that you'll change, that you'll just swap in Lofty before sending it, is the link to Zillow. And again, My Plus Leads, Mojo doesn't have the Zillow link, which I just found out today, which is annoying because the client that's got Mojo, so he's got Mojo and then Follow Up Boss. So Mojo will send a Follow Up Boss and they do include days on market, but they don't include, like My Plus Leads does, they don't have the link to the home on Zillow, which is odd. But you want the link to Zillow because I want to make sure that they see what their home looks like on the #1 website in the world for real estate. Unfortunately, they trust it, they know it. And when they see their home on Zillow and then they see their home, not their home because it's Premier, but they see my marketing plan and the dichotomy, the divergence between those two is going to, again, put us in a spot where we want to be because they're going to go, oh my God, if our home looks like that on Zillow, the end all be all for consumers, right? For the most part, if that's what our home looks like there, and Denise can make our home look like this, right? Yeah, we want to go with Denise. Yeah. So in Lofty, it's totally fine. Just make sure it's set up as a template. And then before you send out the email to whoever it is, just swap out the days on market and the Zillow link.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, again, in the done for you service that we're doing, we actually will build this up. And so right now we're doing My Plus Leads to go high level. We're doing Mojo to Follow Up Boss. We've got My Plus Leads to Lofty. So we haven't gone through with that client yet. So I'm not exactly sure how all these fields work. But when we set it up, we actually set up the data connections between the source and the CRM so that it'll autofill automatically. That's
Wow.
one. But in the beginning, save your money. Just it'll take you what, 15 seconds to drop in the days on market in that link. What I want you to do is not spending money. I want you getting conversations in your pipeline going. All right. Later on, when you get too busy to do all of this, then you can get with us and we can do it. We can do the done for you service that you can pay for, but at least you got money coming in. You got more money coming in because we always want people making money. Make more money than you spend. That's the goal.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Last question here before we leave. Somebody said, what is the best way to get people to use the text feature? What do you mean the one who listings the leads? It's by getting this on your yard sign. Get this on your yard sign. All right. And I rail on this like every video or every training I do now for listing marketing. In fact, I even show you how to order it from dirt cheap signs in the latest videos. It's so easy to do. In fact, it'll take me a minute to show you how to do it. And then we will end the call for today. Any other questions, just get into the mastermind group or get into the school. But when I got a listing here, and I'm telling you, get your yard signs. I was talking to a client yesterday, 8 listings, and her yard signs are ridiculous. Sign writers, down here, sign writers. So here's the sign writer. Just, you can change the color, right? I can change the color, change the text color. I got all these different, like, whatever. I like the second one down. I don't want the QR code because you don't always get the phone number. They have to text. So here's this. Now I can get this done locally if I've got a resource, or just click right here, dirt cheap signs right there. It's that text. You're going to be here. It doesn't matter. Just pick one of them, because what you're going to do anyways, you're going to delete that. And then you're going to click upload file right here in the upper right, upload file. I have legal rights. You're going to just, whatever, check that button. You're going to, there's the download I just did. Now, here, full color. Here, what I did when I ordered this one is I messed with this just a little bit. And then I just asked our support people via that little chat bot right there in the lower right-hand corner. And I just said, I am making an order for a sign writer, but can you make it full bleed? Which is a very weird term, if you're not used to it. Full bleed, what it means is instead of having that white space around, it's full bleed. So the color bleeds all the way to the edge. And they responded back, yeah, we'll take care of that for you. Great. What's your order number or whatever? And they could see where I was in this process. And I ordered the sign. On the next page, I did save and approve. Double-sided, aluminum, grommets ad, $24. Now, the only negative here is to order one, it's $20 in shipping. This make crazy. It's like a $44. Now, what I would recommend that you do, if you got 2 to 3 listings, order 2 to 3 of these writers. If you've only got 1 listing at a time, typically, I would get 2, because you're going to get to 2 listings and you're going to get to 3 and 4. So you're going to build your listing inventory if we do all of the stuff that we're talking about. But yeah, I'm telling you, you've got to get your yard signs. You need to get, and how much I believe this is sitting right next to my chair at all times. You want every status that you've got through pending, because most of you can't do just sold. The yard sign is coming down, but I would do just listed, open house, for sale, and pending minimum. And that's going to change at every status. Or when I have an open house, I do open house. And then this is always below the arm, above my square. And then I get a flyer box from my association while I'm picking up these status writers. And I put an acrylic flyer box on my yard sign. And now people can text, take a flyer. The listing flyers have the QR codes, the text codes, and in the URLs, so they're awesome. But yeah, that's how you get people to use the text. And the beautiful thing is, this is really nice quality. I was actually really impressed, right? It's nice quality. As long as when I'm not using it, I store it nicely so it doesn't get all scratched up. But this will last at minimum a year, if not a couple. Very nice quality, very nice and thick, right? It's not wobbly. Yeah, it's funny. I just ordered it maybe about a month or so ago, just because I wanted to see the quality of it and I wanted to make sure it was good. change your size. That was a 9x24. Look at your yard sign and get the right size. Yeah. Okie doke. Good. All right, everybody, listen, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me. I love having everybody here with me, and I love all the questions. Denise, thank you for those questions, and everybody else. Get into the Facebook mastermind group. Okay. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear the actions you're taking. I want to hear your success. I want to hear where you're getting hung up, because it's too easy to not succeed. All right. The only reason you're not succeeding yet is because there's something that's in your way. But once you get going, you start taking daily action after a couple of weeks, you're going to notice your pipeline is starting to feel really good and strong. And within a month or two, you're going to start getting listings, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay. All
One
right.
more question, please.
Quick. I gotta get going.
Okay. So now with the editing of the intro in your Flipbook, once you have it set up, can I just go in and edit it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep. 100%. And it'll update everywhere automatically.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good evening, you guys. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. All right. And thank you, Sam, for your comments too. I appreciate that.